Hey, puppy. Hi. All righty, here we go. Just start. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Feel free to sing along if you like. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Thank you for singing, everybody. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to those of you who are here and to those that have tuned in online early. I'm Reverend Bonnie Rose. It is good to be back, and it's so good to see all of you. And now I'm going to turn the word over to Miss Jennifer, who's going to give us some announcements.
Good morning. I am Reverend Jennifer, the assistant minister here. I always have to remind myself. Welcome to Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. It's Sunday, June 9th. Woo! How is it June already?
I don't know.
2024.
It's a mystery.
Right?
Yeah.
And it, Well, welcome to the coldest winter you'll ever spend, a summer in Ventura. So a few things I'm just gonna quick go over the announcements. They were on the slides that were up here before service. If I go too fast, everything I'm going over can be found at our website at www.venturacsl.org. If you're here in person, you can ask one of our ambassadors. Our ambassadors have teal stoles on today. So we have Miss Kim. Oh, they're up there. They're in the back. So and Miss Jeanette. And if you have any questions about anything I'm going over or any questions in general, find one of those two with the teal stoles, and they will answer your questions. Today we have a new membership class. We're going to meet in Reverend Bonnie's office, and we're going to be talking about what it means to be a member here at the center, a little bit more information about the center, and then wanting to get to know you a little bit and see how you would like to fit in here. So if you're interested in any of that, come find me or Reverend Bonnie. We're going to be facilitating that today at noon.
Yes, it's short.
It's
short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
We want to hear from you, hear why you're here and who you are, and just get to know you a little bit.
Yeah. And you get to peek at Reverend Bonnie's office.
Yeah, it's very special.
It's very special.
Yeah, the inner sanctum. There you go.
We have a workshop coming up on June 15th called Music as a Spiritual Practice. This is going to be facilitated by our own Mary Kerrigan, our choir director. And the participants are going to, through the use of music, participants will be encouraged to develop an ongoing practice of transformational growth. And you can sign up online on our website, or you can sign up in person here in the social hall. Coming up next Wednesday, right? Yeah, next Wednesday. The third Wednesday Science and Spirituality Discussion Group is on June 19th. They'll meet from 6:30 to 8 p.m., and that's the book that they'll be discussing. You don't have to read the book first. It's just a point of discussion to see how science and spirituality mix together. And we have Pete here. Raise your hand. Pete is one of the facilitators for that. So if you have any questions, you can find Pete. Coming up in July, on July 13th, we're going to have a Building Appreciation Day. There's going to be more details on when we're going, what time in the morning that's going to start, and what snacks will be provided. I don't know. I think we're still debating on pizza or not. So, punch and pie. Everybody come for some punch and pie. Let's see. The outreach this month is for the Ventura County Animal Services. So we're collecting pet food for they have a pet food pantry up in Ojai. So we're collecting pet food to donate to that. When you came into the sanctuary, there's a basket in the foyer to drop off your food. And if you're online, you can go on our website. There's a link there, and you can click on the link, and it'll tell you what their wish lists are. Anything else? Oh, choir today. Choir is rehearsing from 11:30 to 12:30, and they're downstairs in Martha's Hall. So if you want to find out about that, ask one of the people that were singing up here. Kevin can tell you. Mary can tell you. David. We have lots of choir members here. So you'll follow the singing. You'll find them. Anything else? I'll talk about the after services stuff. We do have hospitality through these doors. So after service, if you want coffee or hot chocolate, I like hot chocolate, tea, and some snacks. We have food after service and a bookstore and all sorts of things. So come be social after church.
Come be social.
Oh,
Amen.
yeah, gotta be
Yes.
social. I
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. Let us call, thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
Let us call forth, is it Jessica? Jessica's doing our youth message.
Good morning. Hi. Do any of the kiddos want to come up and join me this morning? Hi. Hi, good morning. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Jessica Lunetta with Youth and Families here at VCSL. It's so great to see all your faces.
Hi, Devin.
As parents, grandparents, and caregivers, guardians, and overseers of loved ones, particularly the young, there are many moments of triumphs and oh so many moments of strife. In those challenging times, often we may need to sit in the uncomfortable. Some of us seek out immediate repair. Others of us need to process, and others we need to seek necessary alone time. Some of us have some challenging temperaments, and sometimes we need to own that. Then there's those of us who just have the ability to let it go. I'm not going to point out any of those guys. I want to speak directly to our children, and those of us who have the child inside of us still. For those nights when you feel uncomfortable or alone, may Spirit be with you. When people doubt or dismiss you, may Spirit be with you. The universe has fought every day for you, for the light to shine within you. So never stop fighting for that light to glow. Harness your flame. For the Spirit believes in you, for the Spirit believes you. Your spirit cannot be silenced. There is a big knowing inside you. You are important, unquestionably. You are untouchable. You are beautiful. You are valued, respected, undeniably. Every minute of every day, you are powerful. You are perfectly made. And nobody can take that away from you. For you are full of love and light. For Spirit lives within you.
Sweet.
I'll leave you with this quote from Mr. Fred Rogers, one of our favorites. Deep within us, no matter who you are, there lives a feeling of wanting to be lovable, of wanting to be the kind of person that others like to be with. And the greatest thing we can do is to let people know that they are loved and capable of loving. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Jessica. You are the face of God. I hold you in my arms. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my arms. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Thanks, kiddos. Have fun. See you later. All right. And now our practitioner for the day, Mary Kerrigan, will lead us in prayer.
Will the reverends and practitioners please stand up, support this prayer? If you're comfortable, close your eyes. If Feel your feet on the ground. You are here and present. And the Divine Spirit is here, present, brings faith, understanding, peace, and love. So much more throughout this day here in this space and throughout the whole cosmos. The timeless Divine Spirit flows. And I'm connected to that energy, that essence, and everyone here in this room, everyone listening over the wavelengths, everyone who is present on earth, and the invisible ones that are not on earth but with us. We're all connected. This service is full of life and vitality, love, laughter, joy, faith, and wisdom. The messages that we get are powerful and life-changing, and we take them with us throughout the week, throughout our lives. We are blessed to be part of this time together in this community, and we feel deeply how much each and every one of us is important, valued, and sacred. So with a grateful heart, I release my words into the law of manifestation, and together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Mary. And so it is, and so we allow it to be. As we rest in the divine knowing of Spirit's presence here in this center, everywhere within each of us. Let us rest in that presence as we open our hearts to listen to the words of our sacred reading.
Mistaking the world we've made for the real world, by George Saunders. The instant we wake, the story begins. Here I am, in my bed, hard worker, good dad, decent husband, a guy who always tries his best. Geez, my back hurts. Must be that damn gym. And just like that, with our thoughts, the world gets made. Or anyway, a world gets made. This world making via thinking is natural, sane. It's Darwinian. We do it to survive. Is there harm in it? Well, yes, because we think in the same way that we hear or see, within a narrow, survival-enhancing range. We don't see or hear all that might be seen or heard, but only that which is helpful for us to see and hear. Our thoughts are similarly restricted and have a similarly narrow purpose: to help the thinker thrive. All of this limited thinking has an unfortunate byproduct: ego. Who is trying to survive? I am. The mind takes a vast unitary wholeness, the universe, selects one tiny segment of it, me, and starts narrating from that point of view. And just like that, that entity, in my case George, becomes real. And he is, surprise, surprise, located at the exact center of the universe. And everything is happening in his movie, so to speak. It is all somehow both for and about him. In this way, moral judgment arises. What is good for George is good. What is bad for him is bad. The bear is neither good nor bad until, looking hungry, it starts walking towards George. So in every instant, a delusional gulf is created between things as we think they are and things as they actually are. Off we go, mistaking the world we've made with our thoughts for the real world. Evil and dysfunction, or at least obnoxiousness, occur in proportion to how solidly a person believes that their projections are correct and energetically acts upon them. In a world full of people who seem to know everything passionately, based on little, often slanted information, where certainty is often mistaken for power, what a relief it is to be in the company of someone confident enough to stay unsure. That is to say, perpetually curious. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Hugh. Thank you. All right, so let us move into that place that sees that we have many stories about reality and that we have many I's, the letter I, the I am this, I am that. But what if we could know right here and right now that we are that which is unconditional? We are not, we are I am without the additive. We just are. We are the unconditional being that is presence, that is God, that is love, that is everything, that is omnipresence. Let us rest in that awareness and see how it changes us, how this resting in that awareness changes us from the inside out. How the world changes when we recognize ourselves and everyone else as part of this I am presence. Together we sing, I am remembering who I am, and we remember the I am for ourselves, but we also remember it for every being everywhere. Whether we call them animate or inanimate, whether we call them friend or enemy, whether we call them the stars or the sun or the sky or the grains of sand on the beach, the I am is everything. Let us know that now as we sing, I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am How beautiful it is to remember. Let us continue to remember, even with our eyes opened, as we breathe in deeply and then exhale. Gently opening our eyes as love, and in love, and in service to what is, as it is, and so it is.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here. This first song is an original song. I've sung it a couple of times before. The words are pretty simple once we get to the chorus. It's just choose love, choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light. So the last line is a bit tough to remember, but choose love is pretty easy, right? So many choices in the world today. Too many things can blow your mind. And if you're needing just a simple truth to see you on your way, remember, choose love, choose love, choose love. And keep on shining a light and choose love, choose love, choose love. And keep on shining a light and choose love. Life is a game that we're all free to play. You can hold it down or let it breathe. And if you're looking for a simple song to sing along the way, together choose love, choose love, choose love. And keep on shining a light and choose love, choose love, choose love. And keep on shining a light and choose love. Only love can move mountains. Only love can lead the way. Love is always forgiveness. So make that choice right here today and choose love. Choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light and choose love, choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light and choose love, choose love, choose love, and keep on shining a light. And choose love, 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 love. Choose love and keep on shining a light and choose love.
Thank you, Darius and Chris. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody. It's great to see you here today. For those of you who are tuning in later, for those of you who arrived a little later, you may know me as Reverend Bonnie Rose. You can call me Bonnie. And I am delighted to be back here. I was away for a little while, speaking in a church up in Alaska, and had a sick day and blah, blah, blah. So here we are. It's great to see y'all. Thank you for coming. Today's talk is about spiritual mojo. What is that? Okay. In our teaching, we would say that there is a power for good and we can use it. Perhaps there is a mojo for good and we can use it. This is a saying from our founder, Ernest Holmes. And we use that power for good as we surrender to it and allow it to use us, but that's a different story. A modern writer, Rob Bresney, anybody know who he is? He's an astrologer, right? Yeah. And he wrote, "Mojo grace means the shocking benevolence of a mysterious force beyond our comprehension." Mojo grace is the shocking benevolence. The shocking benevolence. Has anyone here ever been shocked by the benevolence of nature? Yes. All you need to do is go outside and see it. It's amazing. The shocking benevolence of a mysterious force that spins the planets and places every grain of sand on the beach and pulls the tide back and forth with the moon. How is that possible? It's like the head bone is connected to the knee bone. No, it's like, what is the moon up in the sky doing, pulling the tides? It's shocking benevolence and forces beyond our comprehension. So we have faith in that. We have faith in this shocking benevolence. We have faith in this infinite connection that we have with this divine. You know, I've been contemplating the moon this week because of another class I've been teaching, and the moon is such an example of intimate, that which words cannot describe, because we've got the moon in the sky shining its infinite light, you know, reflecting the infinite light of the sun, shining it, and yet it's intimate too in the form of reflection. Just as the divine presence is infinite everywhere, but it also shows up in intimate ways in our lives. So we have faith in that, in the infinite power of the one. And through this faith, we create heaven on earth. Even when earth doesn't seem very heavenly, even when external conditions seem challenging and difficult and awful, even when internal conditions don't seem heavenly, we can create heaven on earth through faith. Faith in the truth is what sets us free. Sometimes, as a default, we practice faith in fear. Has anyone here, show of pinkies, ever practiced faith in fear? Sort of that narrative that Hugh was mentioned in, that narrative that we create for ourselves. You know, I don't want to say that fear is a bad thing, right? Fear is biological and it's there to help us survive. And fear, in like the reading said something about a bear chasing us, a hungry bear chasing us. Yes, absolutely, have your fear. Let it get you away. But sometimes we have fear in things that are not necessarily there. The fear is not necessarily there for our good. The fear imposes limitations on us. From the reading, it said, a delusional gulf gets created between things as we think they are and things as they actually are. This reminds me of, this is like a minor fear, but it just popped in my head, so maybe I'm supposed to say it. Back years ago, when I was working as an actress, I was in a show, and I let the wig man cut my hair. Not a good thing. He was good with wigs, but it's basically he put a bowl on my head, and it looked like, you know, no offense to anybody who has that haircut. I'm sure it's lovely for you, but it did not work for me. And I remember afterwards, I was walking down the street in San Francisco like this, and I heard people laughing, and I'm like, stop laughing at my hair, right? That's what I'm talking about, that kind of fear. Oh, goodness. Fear, or faith in an eye of our own making, right? Accusing people of laughing at my hair, so self-referential, so weird, but that was an eye of my own making. Faith based on our limited position in reality. Ernest Holmes says that we do not change reality, we merely change our position in it so that we can see a greater reality. It's kind of like if we're looking at a crescent moon, maybe the first people that saw a crescent moon said, oh my God, what has happened to the moon? I liked the moon. But we do that all the time. We look at something and say, oh my God, this is awful. You know, really good demonstrators of that are animals. Anybody here have a dog that thinks the mailman is coming to pillage, right? Yeah, probably a lot of us. I remember once, back when I had long hair, I dropped a shower cap on the floor after taking a shower, and my cat looked like a UFO had entered the house. She was terrified of that shower cap. But don't we do the same thing sometimes? And yet, our lack of seeing, our lack of connection to the vast reality that is, to the moon, to the light that is, an eclipse does not tarnish the moon. Our limited vision of reality doesn't tarnish the vast benevolent grace that is the reality in which we all abide. An eclipse does not tarnish the moon. The moon is not dead. She is only sleeping. That's a quote from the Bible. When Jesus goes and this man Jairus tells him that his daughter is dead or sick, and then other people say she's dead, and he goes to see her and he says, she is not dead, she is only sleeping. And he touches her and she rises up. Is there a Jairus' daughter in your life? Something that feels like it's dead, something that feels like it's gone, something that feels like there is no hope, whether it's in your life or in the world of the world of the planet. What if it's not dead? It is only sleeping, and we get to be the ones through consciousness and through faith that wake it up. Then there's another thing. Oh, wait, this is our responses to an eclipse for good. Those are people rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, okay? The first picture is people rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. We think something is wrong, and we do all kinds of earthly things to try and fix it without doing the work in consciousness. And yes, faith without works is dead. But works without faith can be deadly. we get in the way. Much better to cultivate the consciousness of faith and then allow Spirit to allow us to guide us in terms of what we're supposed to do. And then the other picture is a picture of a cat, not a very happy cat. The caption for this was like, it was a cat wearing a Sphinx outfit. As far as I know, the Sphinx does not look like that, okay? But whatever the case is, the cat is wearing this outfit, and I put that up there because I often think of the stories that we tell ourselves about how there is a lack of benevolence and we shouldn't have faith. Those stories are like knitting a little shroud for us, right? And that cat looks like he's wearing a little shroud. But the good point about that, the reason I turned to knitting for that, knitting a shroud, is that it is so easy to unravel knitting. And we can unravel the stories that we tell ourselves about how the world is not working, about how our lives are not working, about this person is a bad person and they're getting in the way of my good, or the stories about how we have lack instead of abundance. We can unravel all of that through faith. Your good does not have an expiration date. There is unlimited good for each of us here, sitting in this room. It doesn't even matter how bad we've been or how bad it's been. Your good does not have an expiration date. One of the ways that we interfere with our good, though, is that we make faith conditional. We make faith conditional. We say, I'll have faith. God, I'll have faith when you give me something to have faith in. Right? Does that resonate with anyone? When conditions change, then I'll have faith. We are constantly waiting for conditions to change as a stimulus to our faith, and faith is actually the opposite of that. We say, when I see it, I'll believe it. We believe without evidence. The truth is that we are called to believe without the evidence, and then we'll see it, right? There's, yes, this is from Hebrews, from the Bible. Now faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Bless you. The call for faith is to move into the consciousness of faith and trust and knowing without the evidence. And the thing is that we can always expand in faith because, again, there is that, what did Bresny call it, that ridiculous benevolence, that undying benevolence that is just always around us, the good that doesn't have an expiration date. It is always there for us, and yet, like love, its only condition is that it must be received. You just have to get out of the way and receive it. Does a lack of faith involve consent? Do we consent to a lack of faith? I heard this morning when I was waking up. I was listening to a Ram Dass recording, and he said, do you eat a poison plant and blame the plant for poisoning you? Who's eating the plant, people? And I did want to put up a picture of a poison plant. I'm sorry. You know, if you're out hiking in the woods and you see that, please do not eat it. It's not a, yeah, no, he's funny. Yeah. For those of you who are new here, I really like to torture our pianist, okay? It's one of my joys in life, and teasing is my love language, just so you know. But again, think about in your life where, oh my gosh, I was just doing this on my way to church, where you've got this story about something that feels hopeless or feels like there's no solution, or you don't know the solution, or you don't know how to fix it, and you keep eating that story over and over again. Now, it's fine to look at what we're thinking and to embrace it and then gently let it go, but the part that I think gets us really in this rut of thought that diminishes our faith is that idea of that repetitive attention that we give to that which scares us. And again, it's like eating a poison plant and then wondering why the plant poisoned us. Faith is like water. Now, the real quote is, "Love is like water." This is from Mark Nepo. Water, in its clear softness, fills whatever space it finds. Faith fills whatever space it finds. Water does not say, "This gully is too deep," or "This field is too open." Like water, the miracle of faith covers whatever it touches, making the touched thing grow. Now, this is to alleviate any concerns that your problem is bigger than God. Okay? Faith, love, God, higher power, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is bigger than the problem. And it's like water. It will work with any container we give it. It will work with any container that we give it. So I guess the next question is how might you expand your faith container? What is your faith container? It is a thimble? Is it a thimble? Right? I wonder if there might be young folks here that don't know what a thimble is. Any youngins not know what a thimble is? Okay, well that's a thimble. We used to use it for something called sewing, okay? What if that's your faith container? A container ship. Louise Hay says your faith could be a thimble, your faith container could be a thimble, or it could be a pipeline, just piping it in from source, right? So witness the size of your faith container, and then if it needs to expand, we can expand it. Whatever happens is there to get our attention. It's there to get our attention, to grow in faith, to grow in love, to grow in compassion for ourselves and for the whole world, because there is truly only one of us here. And that growth is not only thinking about it. Thinking about it certainly is important, but it's also an active process of thought and of being. So this is Lillian DeWaters. She says, "No one can create faith for another. No one can drink water for us or eat food for us. Faith is learning to behold substantial things unseen." Can we see that which eyes have not seen or ears have not heard? Can we, even when we can't see it, can we be curious about its existence, as the reading said? Can we cultivate an active process where we stop eating the plant, pointing to Chris, we stop eating the plant that poisons us, and instead we drink of the water of faith and allow it to change us from the inside out? I believe we can, and I'm going to offer you some ways that we can practice this, because as I said, it's both contemplation and practice. One thing is to notice how you're already expressing faith. Does anybody here drive? Do you know what an act of faith that is? It truly is. When I used to commute down to Beverly Hills when I lived in the Valley, and there was a stop sign it was actually a 5-way stop sign. And it was such a miracle to watch everybody be so respectful and figure out who was going to go first. And it was a miracle to me that there weren't more collisions in that place where everybody, LA drivers have a little reputation of not being very respectful, but in this particular intersection, they were. And so I think that driving or any extreme act of cooperation requires a certain amount of faith. And I think many of us have that faith without seeing it. Another act of faith is getting on the plane, getting on an airplane. We have faith in the mechanics. I know before I left, before I went to Alaska, I was telling people that I was a tad concerned because of some of the news about Alaska Airlines, where somebody not somebody, but the door blew off, and a young boy, a 9-year-old boy, had his shirt sucked off his body. And My comment on that was, I guess I'm going to wear clean underwear because, you never know. But I've got to tell you, I flew Alaska Airlines 4 times, 4 different flights, and not once did the door blow off, and not once did I get sucked out of the plane. So go figure. Getting on a plane or a roller coaster is an act of faith. Here's one. How many of you have had a child? Darius has a brand new baby who's so cute. We were going to get a baby sighting today, but no such luck. She had another engagement, evidently, so. But I don't have children, but isn't it an act of faith to bring a new life into the world and say, I know there's an instruction manual. There's like Mr. Spock's book or whatever, all kinds of instruction manuals, but does that do the trick? It sounds like it doesn't. No, it sounds like there's many paths that we could take, and having a child is something that requires a great leap of faith. Am I right about that as a non-mom? Okay. And don't even get me started about, I watch a lot of medical shows, and there's often somebody having a baby, and I remember when I learned where babies came from, and I think at first I hoped it was like the size of a Barbie doll, that might be easy to get out, but when I learned it was like a whole person, I'm like, are you kidding me? Was that too graphic for anybody? So the act of having a baby, but the act of raising a child, oh my goodness, what a challenge. Marriage is an act of faith. So many things that we engage in, acts of faith. So look at where we have faith already. And then I'm going to also suggest that if something comes up that doesn't feel good, if there's a misfortune, can we possibly reframe that as part of a bigger process? Our friend Anne Lamott wrote, when God is going to do something wonderful, he or she always starts with a hardship. When God is going to do something amazing, he or she starts with an impossibility. That's not good news, is it? Don't we want something wonderful to come to us like, oh, here it is, Nah, it doesn't work that way. So we get to reframe that. We can say, where's the faith? I hope people here are not too dainty to hear this. I know Shelley is very dainty. But, sometimes when something bad happens, your first reaction is the 3 initials WTF, right? What if we were to reframe that? Where's the faith? Move quickly from the first WTF to where's the faith, all right? And if we're really spiritually advanced, we can say, well, that's fabulous. That is fabulous. Thank you. Thank you for that gift. Will we place our faith in falsehood, in limitation, in lack, in personal inadequacy, or will we place our faith in truth of that benevolent presence that is God, that is love, that is spirit, that is higher power? I hope we choose to place our faith in truth. And then another thing that we can do to assist us in growing our faith muscle, and that is to contemplate the impossible. That first sign up there, the one with all of the atom and the world in the middle, so many things that have been invented or creative, they always existed in consciousness. They always existed in the world. The energy that creates electricity has always been here, but it took this contemplation of the seemingly impossible to allow that to happen. Medicine is the same way. There are now cures for illnesses that were never there. Electricity, medicine, there's a rocket ship going up there. So many things in our lives that we thought were impossible are actually possible. And perhaps, that's looking outwardly, but perhaps looking inwardly. There are probably things that we've done in our lives or received in our lives that we thought were impossible. So we contemplate that. And then also contemplate the beauties in nature. That this is a picture of a hummingbird. And I read last night that a hummingbird's heart beats 1,200 times a minute. How is that possible? And there are hummingbirds all over the world, and there are humans and elephants and all kinds of critters, and all of our hearts are beating. And there's this energy that created all of that to work so perfectly, to work so beautifully, and that continues. And those of us that are skeptical may say, yeah, but your heart's going to stop someday. Well, physically it does. But what if contemplating the impossible means also looking at the possibilities beyond the realm of this body? the possibilities of where we go and what we have and who we are. And that's why the mirror is there, to look in the mirror and to see ourselves and to wonder and to know that we are so miraculous, so miraculous. The fact that we're even here on this planet is just a miracle of probability that is just unfathomable. So we contemplate that impossible and allow it to be. And celebrate it. The last thing I want to say about faith, about cultivating faith, is this idea of community. A community can help you build your faith because we support each other in principle, we lift each other up, and we trust and we know that there is a good for us that we get to have, that there is a power for good, that we can use it. And one of the greatest ways to use that power for good is to be part of a community that supports that in one another and supports also the knowing that as we surrender to the good that we can use, that good uses us through our surrender, as we allow it to use us. We access the good that we use by allowing the good to use us as vessels for kindness, to use us as vessels of love, to use us as the change that we wish to see in the world. This is all possible, and I hope you're catching the energy of this because this is all possible. Thank you. This is all possible, and we are that. So I'm going to change. I'm sorry, I'm going to change. Are my pants bright enough for you? You know? Yeah, thank you. I'm going to end with a story, and this is paraphrased from C.S. Lewis. Whoops, come back here. Okay. I'm a little rusty. I'm out of practice, right? Okay, here we go. So this story is, imagine your life, or imagine your community, as a living house. God comes in to rebuild that house. At first, perhaps you can understand what she is doing. She's getting the drains right and stopping the leaks in the roof and so on. You knew that these jobs needed doing, and so you are not surprised. But presently, she starts knocking the house about in a way that hurts and doesn't seem to make any sense. What on earth is she up to? The explanation is that she is building quite a different house from the one you thought you had, creating a new wing here, putting an extra floor there, building up towers, making courtyards. You thought your life, you thought your community was being made into a decent little cottage. But God is building a palace, for she intends to come and live in it herself. Let's end on that note and let's go right into prayer. And we turn within. We turn within and trust the wellness, the all-being that is God, the power, the presence, the love, the sweetness, the dearness of being, that beautiful, beautiful expression that is life. That beautiful expression that is life itself. We know because we are here, we are alive, that everything is alive, and we are part of that one presence. It infuses us, it lives in us, it has its being within us. And how wonderful it is to know that, to feel that, not only in our minds, but in our hearts and our guts as well, in our bodies, in our hands and our feet, that power, that love, that life is infusing every cell of our divine being and shining through us. Today, we bear witness to that shine, to that light, and we allow it on ever-deepening levels to shine through us, to brighten the world, but also to allow the light of others to move through us. Because God is everywhere. Love is everywhere. This power, this love is through people that we love, people that we struggle with, people that are the same as us, people that are different than us. That oneness is all part of that building of a house so that Spirit can inhabit every breath, every move, everything we do. And so I know that we are called and capable of expanding our faith in whatever way it needs to be expanded. I speak a word for the individual presence of each person here who might be struggling with something, who might be struggling with faith, and I lay that struggle aside. I lay that struggle aside and know that the struggle is easy to let go of. As we simultaneously move into that beautiful place of greater awareness of the love and the presence and the power that is God, that moves through our lives and informs us from the inside out. How wonderful it is to know this truth. How wonderful it is to speak these words, to hear these words, to embody these words, and to go forth in healing and reverence for all that is. How wonderful it is to transform in this way. I give thanks for that transformation, as I give thanks for this beautiful, beloved community and the way of spirit that moves through it in all of its perfection. Even when it doesn't seem like perfection, it moves through each of us in beautiful, mystical, wonderful ways. I give thanks for this teaching, and I bless all paths to God. Churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams, fundamentalists, atheists, all beings everywhere, trusting that the blessings are revealed in everything as I bless. And with a heart that is so filled with blessedness, I say, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, love. And I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. I see the tech people looking at me because I forgot my last slide. It's an affirmation, y'all. Let's do it together. Here we go. Affirmation. Let's say it together. I delight in my newfound faith. I am ready to receive the gifts of faith. And so it is. Yay. Thank you, Chris. Bernie G. What? What? We're just talking amongst ourselves. What list? Okay, never mind. Oh, yeah. No, you have to do the offering. There it is. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
We're having a little discussion about the words that are going to be posted in a minute, but not yet, that we're all going to say together. And here are mine. So anyway, good morning, y'all. And how happy it was that the church was kind of light earlier.
Yes.
And I love that it fills in before the message actually begins. So welcome to you all.
What?
Where's the fun?
Where's the fun?
See?
WTF, where's the fun? Look at that. Yeah, I love that. Good one. Good one, Vern. Appreciate that.
You always count on me for fun.
Yes, I know.
All right, so, we have it. Okay, so we're going to repeat these words together, and it's all about how we're going to deal with our offering. So, we trust in spirit. Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are. We offer this gift. It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion. Our gift blesses many and returns to us multiplied in miraculous ways, so that we may give again. And so it is.
Thanks, Bern. Thank you, everyone. And then we'll hear from Darius. Does he have your baby picture?
Thank you, Reverend Bonnie. I should have checked the weather forecast before I picked this song. But it's a good one. I can see clearly now, the brain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, oh, bright, sunshiny day. Look around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. Sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, oh, a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, oh, a bright, sunshiny day. Just have a little faith, even though you can't see it right now. Have a little faith.
That's Emma, Darius's daughter. Yeah.
Ella.
Ella. Oh, Ella. Sorry, Ella.
Ella.
Oops, sorry.
Well, we should just
Yeah. Leave it to the baby.
can't compete with that.
Right.
All right, everybody, we've come to the end of the service. If you would like prayer with the practitioners, there'll be practitioners down here at the front of the sanctuary that can, I don't know, pray for son. I don't know, pray for what? Where's the faith? Where's the faith?
Where's the fun?
Where's the fun?
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
Well, that's fantastic. Right.
And like I said, we have hospitality in the social hall for everybody here. Sorry, everybody at home. But if you are at home, please share our Facebook posts on Facebook and share us on YouTube and do all of those things. So let's just close out with our closing affirmation. If everybody will read with me. In every part of our lives, we are love. We share love. We serve love. Thank you for our lives. And so it is. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.